In this video, I will be going for only my second platinum trophy in the Resident Evil series. I do plan on getting the entire series done, but I don't know if that'll ever actually happen. But today we'll be focusing on Resident Evil Revelations 2. But in this game, we're looking at a total of 44 trophies, including the platinum. There are 16 story-related trophies, and the rest of them are all miscellaneous. The plan for this platinum is to first play through the story and just enjoy it. After experiencing the story, I will then go back through the game one more time, getting all the medals in every episode. Each episode has 10 medals attached to them for each scenario. And the medals are just getting kills in specific ways or doing something in a certain amount of time. And every medal does not have to be done in one playthrough. I can do it over multiple attempts of the level. After achieving all medals, I will go through the game on countdown mode, which is pretty much a speed run. There's a constant timer in the corner, and you can add time by shooting these hourglasses or by killing enemies. And if the time runs out, then you have to restart the entire level from the beginning. And for my fourth full playthrough, I'll be playing through invisible enemy mode, which is, as it sounds, full of invisible enemies. Although they're not 100% invisible all the time. I'll get more into that once we get to that playthrough though. Now that we have our plan, let's go ahead and get this platinum trophy. After the first playthrough, I only had 12 of the 44 trophies, but I wasn't going for anything specific. I was just enjoying the story. I barely got any of the miscellaneous trophies in that playthrough, so the next playthrough I'll be going for all of them, as well as every medal for every level. The first miscellaneous trophy I got was for getting my 100th kill with the knife. For this next trophy, you have to get 5 kills with an explosive, and in this part of the level there's all these spiders on the floor. I don't know how many exactly, but more than 5, so it was pretty easy to get the trophy here. In the Claire scenarios, you have this partner named Moira who has a flashlight, and you can use that flashlight to stun enemies, and after stunning 50 enemies you get a trophy. At the end of Claire's first episode, you get to a point where you have to open up a door with Moira's crowbar, and in the center of the room is a flame-throwing turret. If you do not use that flamethrower, you get a trophy. This cell block area in the first episode is a great spot to grind out a lot of these miscellaneous trophies, because this specific area, these 2 enemies just respawn over and over again. Using Moira's flashlight, we can get another trophy by stunning 50 enemies and then performing a follow-up attack with Claire. Staying in the same area, we get another trophy for getting 50 kills with Moira's crowbar. For this next trophy, I have to kill 2 enemies with a single shot. Thank goodness I played a lot of Call of Duty back in my day, made this trophy a lot easier. At the end of the first episode of Barry's scenario, we get a trophy for killing our 100th Revenant. While getting those miscellaneous trophies, I also got all the medals for that episode. For this next trophy, I had to save my partner for a total of 10 times, but looking back at this footage, I don't think I actually saved them, but I'll take it. Early in episode 2, our friend here gets infected, and we do not have to kill them to progress through the story, but if you do, you'll earn yourself a trophy. In Barry's scenarios, you have a partner named Natalia, and she's able to pick up bricks around the map, and using those bricks to kill 20 enemies earns us a trophy. Episode 2 is now done with all the medals, and episode 3 I didn't have to worry about any miscellaneous trophies, so I just went through and got all the medals for that one. For this next trophy, we have to kill 50 enemies with physical attacks that can only be done after you stun the enemy and you see the R2 prompt pop up. After completing episode 4 and earning all the medals, it is now time to earn the last of the miscellaneous trophies before we move on to our last 2 playthroughs. We are now back in episode 1, back in the cell block to earn one more trophy. For this trophy we have to kill 30 enemies while they are mid-jump. This took me way longer than it probably should have, as you can tell because I'm almost dead here. In Barry's scenarios for every episode there's these enemies called the Revenant, and some of them have arms with weapons, and after shooting 30 of those off you get a trophy. A great place to grind out this trophy is at the end of Barry's scenario episode 1. Once you look at this gate and you turn around, there'll be 2 Revenants with weapon arms every single time. After you shoot them off you can just restart checkpoint. For the last trophy before we get to the countdown and invisible enemy mode playthroughs, we have to complete the first episode using only the knife. This is extremely easy. I pretty much just ran past every enemy that I could, straight to the end. It is now time for countdown mode. In this mode there's a constant timer going off, and to increase your time you must kill enemies or shoot these hourglasses. There's 2 hourglasses you can shoot. There's a blue one that adds 1 minute to your timer, and then there's an orange one that if you shoot it'll reset your timer to 3 minutes no matter what your time is at. So if you're above 3 minutes, I would avoid those at all costs. Countdown mode didn't really give me much trouble, especially because I really knew the game in and out because I had to play through every episode multiple times for those medals. In this game mode I would recommend killing most enemies that you come across. I wouldn't waste my time on every single enemy because you can lose time. A lot of the enemies only give you like 10 seconds, which you'll probably run out of that time by the time you kill them all anyway. With that said, there's not much to show during this playthrough because I was pretty much just speedrunning. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you all the trophies pop. Yeah, invisible enemy mode sucked. This definitely is the hardest part of the game. I made it harder on myself because I was not utilizing my partners in the beginning. Moira, for Claire, has her flashlight which will show the enemy temporarily. And in Barry's episodes you have Natalia, and actually she makes this game mode not too bad in Barry's episodes because if you play as her you could just see all the enemies at all times, and you could just switch back and forth between her and Barry and just know where the enemies are at, so his parts weren't that bad. But Claire's episodes were not the easiest, especially because hers have a lot more enemies and Moira's flashlight does not show the enemies very long. So most of the time I was knifing or I was just switching back and forth really quick to try to get an idea where the enemies were at. My favorite part about this playthrough though was the cutscenes, because the enemies are invisible in those as well, so you get amazing cutscenes like this. Now that invisible enemy mode is done, it is now time to get the last 3 trophies in raid mode. Raid mode is pretty much just levels where you have to kill all the enemies and make it to the end. The cool part about raid mode is you get to play as a bunch of different characters from the main campaign, and also all the levels are from past games, which is really cool to see. All we have to do to earn the last 3 trophies is to complete one raid mission, evaluate an item, which are all just random drops, and then completing a gauntlet, which is pretty much just 6 raid mode missions. Here we finish our first level, so we get our first trophy for raid mode. And now here's the random drops I was talking about. They're all weapons, and after I evaluate this, I'll get my second trophy. And that's the end of the last raid mission in that gauntlet, and that should be our last trophy and the platinum. And there we are, the platinum trophy for Resident Evil Revelations 2.